Highly gifted, my jacket's thrifted. Watch me get a pattern shifted, just acting different. Living in my minutes, I'm catalytic. That's why they love to jack the style like it's on a Civic.
Welcome to Future Ready, a production from Boston Broadcasts. The name kind of says it all, Future Ready. I know it's a profound name, but the aim of this podcast series is to get you future ready. This is the thing about the future, right, is that it's uncertain. And all of us understand that, and it's the thing that causes us a lot of anxiety. Coming out of school, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go? Finishing our diploma, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go? Busy with our diploma, what does the future look like for us? And so the aim of this podcast series is to try to alleviate some of that anxiety, to try to give you the data that's going to help you make good decisions for your future. That's why I said it's a profound name, Future Ready. And we're going to start the first season with the director as well as the head of institution, Dr. Hendrik Botha. And we're going to speak about, first and foremost, when you are a school leaver, what does this thing look like? Where should you go? What can you choose? What are your choices? And then we're going to speak a little bit about when you are in an academic institution, when you're with us here at Boston City Campus, when you're with us at Boston Media House, what that looks like for you, and how you can prepare for your future. That's kind of what we're looking at. So thank you, and come on the journey with us. And let's then start by saying welcome, Dr. Hendrik Botha. Thank you so much for joining us. It's an honor to have you here as our first guest as we drum through some of these things. I'm excited to get stuck into them.
Yes, thank you, Grant.
Lekker. I think the right place to start, Hendrik, is tell us a little bit about Boston City Campus. Like, if I've never heard of Boston City Campus, what is it? It's got a lekker name, but what are we doing here? What is it?
So Boston City Campus was founded around 1991, 1994. It's by our current CEO, who's still was the founder, Prof. Ari Katz. And the intention originally, and it's still part of the intent, it was to support students who were enrolled in university programs elsewhere who needed additional classes.
Oh, brilliant.
And specifically, it was also looking to assist in accounting,
Right.
where his original passion and auditing lied. And from there, our current managing director teamed up with our CEO, and the broader Boston City Campus developed, and it expanded into skills training.
Right.
And it expanded into the field of short courses and short learning, looking for quick skills acquisition to become a secretary, to get a leg up, to become an administrator.
Right.
And so Boston developed from a classroom to what's considered asynchronous learning system, where we utilized videotapes to repeat lectures and support students. And around 2012, Boston formally transitioned into higher education.
Okay.
So there was a long journey of developing the education system, developing support centers across the country and infrastructure. And then the leap was made to say we're exiting supporting students from other institutions, and the focus won't be on short courses. It's still very important. We'll discuss those options a bit later, I think, into higher ed. And that journey started with, and particularly also in the open distance e-learning framework, which we'll unpack a bit more.
Sure.
Now, a decade later, Boston City Campus supports around 23 to 28 qualifications, from higher certificates, diplomas, degrees to postgraduate, and around 22,000 active students on those programs.
Brilliant. So I am going to give you an opportunity now just to answer a difficult question.
Okay.
But why, so straight off the bat, why is it a good choice? So if I want to study higher education, what makes Boston City Campus the right choice?
So,
I'm going to let you advertise here. This is your opportunity to sell
this
it,
is
friend.
to sell. So I don't have an elevator pitch. I rather go through the detail, and I think let the listeners and the viewers take their choose from that
Yes.
that list that they resonate with, or what they resonate with. So I believe, and at City Campus, we believe strongly in the design of qualifications as a starting point. The value exchange starts at the design principles. Okay. And that design principles is also is informed in two parts. One, what is the market demands and needs? Right. Because ultimately you want to marry graduates with opportunities. Yeah. Other than that, the institution, the graduates from the institution should also be attractive, but there is a broad, sure. And then inside that, curriculum design, i.e. those modules that we select, the textbooks that we select, how we go about unpacking the lessons, planning the assessments, the format of the assessments and the tasks, to the layup into the learning management system where you as a student will log in and spend the majority of your time, right. To the textbooks that you will be engaging with. All of those selections and sequencing is a key to setting the student up for success. Yeah. Because if that journey is not nurtured and is not understood and is not reliable to the student, and the courseware is not robust, yep. Especially in the open distance e-learning environment, the student will easily become disheartened, will feel that they left behind, sure. Will feel, why is this even necessary? Sure. Because to a large extent, you are alone in your educational journey. You sit at home, or yep. Perhaps you come to one of our support centers. That's very useful, especially for those. The support centers are also very practical as part of meeting the needs and the why Boston. Sure. Many of our students find that support centers is a convenient location to come and book a seat to study. Yep. It's more conducive to come there, yep. Spend quiet time. The electricity will always be on. Sure. The internet will always be working. Okay, yep. Barring a few technical glitches from time to time. We are in South Africa. We also have challenges. And also to have some fellowship with other students and interactions with us as an institution, yeah. That enriches it, because we're not just a call center or a name somewhere, yeah. That you deposit money and hope for your books arrive. So there's an advantage to that support centers, but yet you're still alone in your journey. You need to study. Sure. The student needs to ABC, apply the butt to the chair, go through the moments, but the design and the support we perfected to a large extent to be able to indicate to you every day what's the progress required. And if you do fall behind, that we're available, right. For you to reach out, or we will notice you're falling behind and reach out to you, right. And then start replanning so that the fall behind doesn't become a loss of a semester or a necessary loss of a year, right. That we're a bit more proactive. That's one part of the value exchange for City Campus, and for choosing City Campus. A secondary part is the textbooks. It's an item that I think is completely underrated, right. Not just in South Africa, I think globally. Okay. Because the question I always pose is, how does learning transpire at the undergrad level if there's no textbooks? Right. And what I mean by that is, if students can't afford textbooks, sure. They don't buy textbooks. Gotcha. So the question is, what learning then transpires? Yes. Where does the learning transpire? Sure. And without the textbooks, I think to a large extent, the learning experience degenerates into an assessment event. Right. Because you're looking now for a way to compensate. The learners didn't learn, there weren't texts in their hands. Just looking to pass. So now so with City Campus, we incorporate the textbooks with the tuition fees. So students right. Do not need to be bothered around the logistics of ordering them, of finding them, and or how do they collect them, because we'll yeah. Keep them at your support center. Brilliant. As a reliable address to come and collect them when you're ready. But each module is underpinned with prescribed texts. Brilliant. Our own texts in addition to that, and these prescribed texts range from bespoke developed texts to international texts to the best that's offered in South Africa by the most prominent publishing houses.
Right.
That's on par with, that's the equal to or on par with any of the top-rated programs in the country. So that's one part that makes the program robust. That's one part that benchmarks the program you enroll clearly, because we use the similar top-end local international text.
Sure.
With the difference that we buy it for you and hand it to you the day you start.